It's almost the end of the week. It is almost Friday. You have almost gotten through your work week or whatever. Whatever it is that you do throughout the week, you are almost at the close of the week. And then you can reflect back on your greatness, everything that you have achieved for the week. At least that's what I do. Fridays are my favorite day of the week because I'm able to reflect back on things that I have accomplished throughout the week. That is my goals and um, different things that I've set for myself to accomplish. We all do it. You should have your daily goals, your weekly goals, your monthly goals, and then your bigger goals. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing. You can't accomplish anything if you're not setting goals for yourself. So that's very important. If you are not a goal oriented person, become one. Um, you can't expect to achieve things and you're not setting levels of goals for yourself. Short term goals and long term goals are important because these goals are, excuse me, getting you acclimated and prepared for your future. So this week has been kind of different for me, so to speak. God is beginning to reveal a lot to me. And it, I'm not surprised. And so as I walk into my next chapter of life, God is beginning to reveal people, places, and things to me that do not belong. And although we cut distractions out of our life, we know whom should and whom should not be there. But trust me, as you begin to walk in purpose, as you get closer to that goal, as God begins to reinvent you and give you all the things that you have prayed for, whether it is career goal or just anything that you are working to accomplish in your life, you will find that certain people start to change up. People start to change up. People start to show you who they really are. And that is God's way of revealing to you, okay, you know, we're going to get rid of the last distractions so that you can achieve what it is that you're working for, or so that you can do whatever it is that He created you to do. So He's going to allow you to see those individuals for who they are. And sometimes, most times, it is the people closest to you. Okay. It could be a husband, it could be quote unquote a mate, and so gosh, I'm starting to see. And so sometimes people in your life, they wear a mask and they can't hide who they are for too long. And eventually you will find out. So finding out that you are in a relationship with someone that never really supported you, and that is, I don't know, I don't want to use the word jealous. I don't know what it is. But to find out that that partner is not with you is oblivious. But you will find out. Don't be surprised. It's not something that that doesn't happen. It does. And I just also want to speak on, being an entertainer. Guys, I'm working on my accent. But I am an entertainer, and being in the industry, if you're dating someone or you're in a relationship, because dating and being in a relationship is totally different. If you are in a relationship with an entertainer, okay, whether you are a female or you are a male, you cannot be jealous and be in a relationship with someone that is an entertainer, whether it's TV, music. In my case, it's both. Um, you can't put your insecurities on your partner. especially if your partner is nothing but respectful to you, has never cheated on you, or has never given you a reason to be as such. It's just who you are. You can't do that, and it's not fair. So, yeah, I don't think everyone has the average amount of jealousy. Like, I'm speaking about easy teensy went bit of jealousy that is normal. That is what I'm speaking about. But outside of the norm, no, no. And so, especially if you are a jealous individual, don't date someone that's in the industry. Um, don't put that stress on them. Whatever your insecurities are, or whatever your issue is, don't put that stuff on the next individual, because it's not fair and it's not going to work. Because I'm going to tell you what, and it sounds rough, it might sound bad, but when a person is in the entertainment industry, if they are really in tune with their brand, because an artist does not let their, a true artist doesn't let their art go for nothing. I literally I've been up half the night, and still woke up at 5 o'clock to make sure that I was on my different platforms doing what I needed to do to make sure that I was posting my show. And then I'm supposed to be on YouTube by 8 o'clock. I was kind of late, but I'm still exhausted. From the night before, so my sleep pattern has been off. I have to work out today. I have a lot of things that I have to do. I still show up and show out no matter what. Even if I'm crawling out the bed, like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I just took my vitamin D. Um, I take D3 with K2. That is very important and essential, especially for um, for us as Black people. Is vitamin D3 is very important. And so I take my vitamins. I'm preparing my detox tea right now. Those things are important. So to speak, I'm not going to water down my career or my brand to fit a relationship. And I don't care if we're married. I'm not going to do it. Excuse me. So if you are with someone that is an entertainer, they do anything like that. It could be any career, really. If that person is really into their brand, they're not going to stop who they are, or they're not going to dismiss their career for a relationship. I don't care if we've been together for 15 years. I'm not going to do it. So it's not fair for you to be with someone that is in the industry and then expect for that person to water down their things and what they're doing just so that they can make you comfortable. If you don't trust that person, then you don't need to be with them. Period. Um, and like I said, it's an insecurity thing. So it's bad, but God will reveal to you who people are. And if something, a relationship or whatever, has run its course in your life, God will reveal that to you. And most times we know. We know when it's over. We know when it's time to go. We know when it's finished. We know when it's done. And what do? We still hang on. And I'm going to tell you, hanging on does nothing but delay your process of success. Because if something or someone is not aligned with your purpose, your goals, and what you're doing in life, um, it's going to delay the process, and it's going to hold you back. So you might as well let go. If you see he or she does not support you, it doesn't matter what career path you're in. It doesn't matter what your purpose is. It doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be entertainment. Um, Heck, you can be working at Walmart, and because work is work. It's whatever you choose to do with your life. It's totally your business, as long as you're not harming other people or yourself. It's your business. But yeah, if you're you're with someone that's fake supporting and pretending that they support you, but they really don't, that is going to come out. And God is going to reveal that mask, reveal their true identity. They're wearing a mask. There's no way that when you talk about something and then when you finally achieve it, and then your partner is looking at you like, so what? So what? And I'm not saying someone has to kiss your butt, but if you're not getting the support, they're not congratulating you, and then they are reversing it on some jealous type stuff, or you're upset because you are working with the opposite sex, it's not going to work. As an entertainer, you want to have to work with the opposite sex, period. Um, if you're a female, you're going to have to work with men. If you are a man, you are going to have to work with females. When you are an artist, singer, film producer, whatever, you're going to have to work with the opposite sex. Even if you're working at Walmart, you're going to have to work with the opposite sex. And you cannot be acclimated with someone who is jealous of that. You know, what do you want? Your partner to sit in the house and not do anything, not accomplish nothing? You know what? That is what some people want. And I'm just being honest. But guess what? It's not gonna work. Don't do it. Don't fold for anyone. Don't dim your light to make another person or another individual comfortable. I seem to notice that where I come from is not where I am now. It's some people from my past, or either people that or from my hometown. If I visit, or if I associate myself with I don't want to say friends, associates from the past, they don't want to acknowledge who I am. They want to hold on to who I was. And I'm not saying who I was a bad person, because I've definitely always been a good person. But what I am stating is that who I was before my career. So people don't want to accept that. So case in point, I was at a dinner about a month ago in my hometown. And I seen someone that her and we hadn't seen each other since we were in school. And I mean high school. So we hadn't seen each other since then. And when she seen me, she called me by my government name. And I told her, I was like, well, I'm in the industry now. I changed my name, blah, blah, blah. You should call me Diamond. Um, she said, well, girl, I'm not about to play with you. And I said, okay, I'm not playing with you either, but, you know. And so on her way out the door, she kind of reiterated what she said. And I just kind of looked at her. So she said, well, we will, reach out to each other on Facebook. She put her Facebook up, said she was going to follow me. She never did. So, of course, I don't care. But I'm betting that she got on the Facebook and she's seen what I'm doing now versus who she knew when we were in high school, and it becomes intimidating to people. Oh, she's doing this now, so it's like, no, I'm not going to acknowledge her as this, and it's okay. But this is what you run into when you revisit your past. And so that's why a lot of times people say, leave your past alone. It's it's not that they're bad people, and I'm not saying that, but people can't unsee the old version of you. So if you don't want to constantly see yourself having to water yourself down or become smaller in the room to make people comfortable who don't have the capacity to accept who you now are, then your best bet is to not look back at the past. because for every time I've gone home and I have associated myself with people from my past, I have experienced this every single time. They look at me, they remember who I was before, I started my career, and then they look online and they see what I'm doing and see what I'm doing now. They don't want to accept it. They don't want anything to do with it. It's not like there's something wrong with what I'm doing, but they don't have the capacity to accept who I am now. And that is because they are from my past. They are not in my current life. And so what I'm basically trying to say is God, of course, He has laid your life out in chapters, and everything that He has created, excuse me, for your life and for your future, it has nothing to do with your past. It does in a sense of you going through certain things and experiencing things in life, your journey. I don't mean that. But what I mean is those people from your past, they have nothing to do with today. And so each and every time that you revisit your past, it's not saying you have to hate them, but it's like for me, I don't associate myself or hang out with people that I knew from high school. Why? Because I'm not still the same person in high school. And so it'd be different if I had a high school best friend that we continued to be friends along the way. And along the years, we grew together. Even then, you still outgrow people, but it's not that. So I'm speaking of when you revisit the past or when you go back home, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. One, don't stay for too long. And two, do not sit and hang out or party with or eat with people, friends from high school and people that knew you from before whoever you are today, because they're not going to accept it. And then it's going to make you feel a kind of way. And you can even, I don't do this, but I know it to be true. You can even start to question who you are now and the things that God has you um, doing, like the things that the purpose that he has given you. You will find yourself questioning that and trying to figure out, hey, am I doing the right thing? Is this really going to work? That's what happens when you are surrounded by or you begin to associate yourself with people that have nothing to do with that purpose. They don't support you. They're not a part of it. And so if you start revisiting your past or you basically allow those individuals in your life, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to eventually start to question what you are doing currently in life, especially if you have not fully reached that goal. If you haven't reached your big goal, then you're going to begin to question, um, am I doing the right thing? Is this really going to work? Should I keep going? There's no way. All the work that I've done and as far as I have come, there's no way that I'm going to allow anyone from my past, any relationship, anyone at all, to allow me to question what it is that God has me doing. Am I doing the right thing? Of course I am. This is my life. This is who I am. So definitely not going to entertain a relationship that that doesn't respect my career, my purpose, my motion, and what it is that I'm doing. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not. And I don't care how much I love you. I'm not going to do it.